Our next speaker is Bryce Riddell. Bryce comes from Yarrawonga.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bryce Riddell, a 2012 Nuffield Scholar from Yarrawonga, Victoria. My study topic is alternative hay crops for the Australian market and also value adding for the hay industry. Firstly, I'd like to thank my family and friends for their support while I was undertaking my global travels. To Rural Finance for sponsoring my scholarship and for their long-standing support of Nuffield Australia, and also to Nuffield Australia for allowing me the opportunity to pursue my study topic around the world. I'd also like to thank my global focus group for their friendships, great times and great memories along the way. In Yarrawonga, we're involved in the hay industry. We currently produce lucerne hay, oaten hay, and we also bale cereal straw. We also run an Angus herd, and we also feedlot our own weaners. We also own and operate a lucerne hay cubing plant and also other hays that we use, which helps us vertically integrate our hay production and value adding. One of the many benefits of cubing hay is to increase the bulk density, which allows us to maximise shipping container weights and also road efficiencies. My Nuffield scholarship allowed me to travel to 14 countries across 4 continents, which was a great opportunity to view agriculture on a global scale and see the challenges and opportunities that are present at the moment and also which will be in the future. Through my study topic, I was led to a range of questions, such as what are the main export hay varieties around the world. These include alfalfa, or as we like to call it, lucerne, Timothy grass, Sedan grass, oaten hay, Bermuda hay, and cereal straw, and also grass straws. Alfalfa, or lucerne I should call it, because we are here in Australia. Lucerne is by far the largest volume of hay that is exported around the world, and the majority of that comes from the United States. Lucerne has a place in many feedlot rations as it is high protein and high energy. Secondly is Timothy grass, which is the second highest volume of hay that is exported around the world. And whilst visiting one of the largest hay exporters in the world, it was referred to as the Cadillac of hay. As for pound, or kilo for kilo, there is no other greater expensive hay in the world. Next is Sedan grass, which is the 3rd largest hay crop exported out of the United States. This is a high competitor to our Australian oaten hay crop, which oaten hay overall in a world volume is the 3rd largest exported hay of all hays. Then there is also cereal straw, which cereal straw and grass straws, they're used as a low value fibre in many feedlot rations and dairy rations throughout the world. What are the main hay importing countries and exporting countries was the next question. Well, Australia is one, the United States and also Canada are the 3 main hay exporting countries, with the United States exporting over 3.5 million tonnes of hay per annum, which predominantly comes from the west coast, the areas of the Pacific Northwest and also the Pacific Southwest. In Australia, we export around over 600,000 tonnes of oaten hay per year, with over 45% of this coming from Western Australia alone, and then us other poor states have to make up the remainder. Also, Canada exports around about 600,000 tonnes of hay per year. However, a lot of this is shifted southwards through the United States. Then comes the importing countries. Now, they are Japan, the largest of them all are Japan, South Korea, the United Arab Emirates, and also Taiwan, with emerging markets being Saudi Arabia and also China. Japan is by far the most traditional and mature of all these markets, with quality being a paramount for this industry. Also, I was looking at what are the reasons why this hay is produced in these areas. One is it economically viable? Is there economies of scale on the producer's side? Also, does the climate and rainfall lend itself to producing quality hay in these areas of an export quality? The next major fact is also the proximity to an export port, because as you might not be aware, one of Australia's largest exports is empty shipping containers. Also, how is this export hay used in these countries? Well, the major industry is actually the dairy industry, and then the next is the meat feedlotting industries, with the recreational such as equine and camel racing coming later. Also another great aspect that I looked at was what does the end user actually look for in this hay? Number one is colour and palatability, because if they import hay and nothing wants to eat it, well, that's money not very well spent. Also, stem diameter, as a finer stem is often looked at as a very high quality hay. In regards to the Timothy, this actual seed head length is what determines a high quality hay, with the Japanese market often looking for a very long head. When it comes to lucerne hay, a high leaf to stem ratio is what Japanese buyers really look for, with leaf retention in that flake of hay being the main thing there. Also, one of the universal measuring devices used in the hay industry is actually the ballpoint pen. You'll see a lot of buyers and exporters sitting that next to a sample of hay just to give a bit of a comparison of what actually the colour is and what the stem diameter is and how leafy the hay is. Opportunities that I viewed whilst overseas were the consumers' requirements in these industries, also the culture of the importing country, because you have to get to know your customer if you want to serve them well. Also, I viewed different hay producing methods such as baling directly behind headers, also artificial dew simulators so that you can continue baling throughout the hot Utah desert today. I also viewed transport efficiencies such as the use of backloads and how that can cut the cost of transporting hay measurable distances. I also looked at different methods of compressing hay, such as double compressing bales, as well as cubing. Future focuses that I'd like to look at are alternative hay varieties that we can produce here, such as Rhodes grass, teff grass and Timothy grass. We've successfully grown teff grass last year on a commercial scale in northern Victoria. Also, I'd like to look at new export opportunities, such as the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, and also the United Arab Emirates. As with the United Arab Emirates, they've had a Rhodes grass subsidy operating for many years now, where farmers would grow the Rhodes grass, cut it and deliver it to a fodder distribution centre at a high moisture content. Then it would be dried down, baled and sold back to them, which they were selling it to the government for around about $320 per metric tonne Australian, and buying it back for around about $90 per metric tonne. So it was an environment that led to a lot of corruption, as you might believe. And also another key element that I came away from my Nuffield scholarship was actually staff and staff management, as staff can be a great catalyst to rapid growth and can be an asset to a business, or the wrong staff can be a great liability to you and actually hinder everything that you're trying to achieve. Once again, I'd like to thank Nuffield Australia, Rural Finance and my family and friends for allowing me this opportunity. Thank you.